Happy New Year. 2025 is finally here. This is your host, Dan Stafford with Midwestern Geek in Cali, and I will have to say it's been an interesting year, 2024. A lot of reflection and reminiscing. I don't really do resolutions, just try to do better. So won't go too far with that. But 2024, let me see. I transferred from the high desert to the San Diego market at work. That's been a good thing so far. I managed to pay off all my debt. My wife and I got along pretty well this year, so I'm happy about that. Um, I lost three good friends, and my wife lost a really good friend. So those are folks we'll remember and we'll miss. Things change. My son got a new job. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with the Christmas decorations this year, except a few of the blue light bulbs on the string are out, so I have to get a different string for next year. Um, then there's the whole social media thing. Uh, I disabled Facebook. I've only got Messenger on there now. And it's been an interesting journey. Facebook used to eat lots and lots and lots of time. I find that I have more one-on-one conversations with mostly messaging apps. I still like to follow science articles. That's one of my main things. I really enjoy that. And so I've been doing it in a new way, a couple of different ways. One's a small group on Messenger that where I post articles, but I also cross post those articles over to Blue Sky, which I've shut down every other social media but Blue Sky right now. I'm only using that, and then a few different messaging apps, depending on what my friends use. So over on Blue Sky, of course, there's a little infinity screen to go here, and then we'll jump over into Chrome, and of course, Happy New Year. This is my little New Year episode. It's not going to be very long, but I want to wish everyone a happy 2025. It's almost here. It is about 3 minutes. Well, it's about 13 minutes to 11 p.m. here in Pacific time. So that means some of the U.S. is already, but the eastern half of the U.S. is pretty much in the new year already. And we are heading that direction relatively quickly. And then on Blue Sky, I am posting science article and tech and articles of the type that this show is kind of known for under the hashtag MWGIC for Midwestern Geek in Cali. And I have a long string of very, very cool articles. If you just hit pound MWGIC in search, you will find all kinds of cool news. And what I like about doing this is one of the reasons why I love doing all these news stories is the majority of them are kind of upbeat, positive, and well, I put some of my artwork in here too, but they're mostly upbeat and positive. There are some negatives, there's some downside or some concerning side, but for the vast majority of it, it's hopeful. Um, it's a really good thing, and yeah, I just think it's better than following the regular news. I try to skim over pretty much everything but the headlines in a lot of the regular news. Of course, I do watch some, but I focus less time on it. And not reading much social media, that gets a lot of negativity out of my life. I'm telling you, There's certain events that I probably would miss. People don't have the habit of notifying all their friends when something happens anymore because they just pop it on social media and expect everyone to see it sooner or later. That's been a big change. I think that's one of the downsides to social media is there's a lot less one-on-one conversations than what there used to be. Prior to about 2004, yeah, it was very much way more one-on-one or small group conversations, even online. So, and the previous whole of human history has been like that. The closest thing to social media was books and newspapers, and I wouldn't put newspapers in the same category in most ways, but yeah, there were blogs and stuff or in the early web chat rooms, but then that's still usually a small group hanging out in each chat room. So this has really been pretty much just barely a 20-year phenomena, the whole social media thing. And I think we've had a couple of decades with it, and it's wearing thin, and it really needs a revamp, which I've said before. And yeah, maybe when I retire, I might just give that a shot, but we'll see. Meanwhile, um, a lot of interesting things coming up in 2025. I follow astrology a little bit. Uh, Pluto dropped into Aquarius starting in the last couple of months, and it is going to stay there for 20 years. That should be real interesting because the last time that was the case was around the time of the American Revolution and the Industrial Revolution. Both of those happened the last time around. So that should be an interesting energy. And I have a feeling that, there's a little more to the quantum underlying nature of the universe than what most people realize. So I don't see the symbology as too out there or crazy or woo woo like a lot of people do, but I also don't see it as a hard line in the sand. I see it as an indicator of potential, not a hard, this is the way things are going to be. No, I don't think so. But so it's an interesting thing. It's entertaining. It's fun to, try to keep your mind busy, so to speak. Um, but there's an awful lot of cool science that happened in the last year, and it seems like the science and tech articles just keep coming faster and faster and faster. I mean, in 3 or 4 rounds a day, I can remember, you know, 10, 15 years ago, the amount of stories that I post in a day would take a month or more to come out. So it seems like the pace of technological advance and scientific advance is getting more and more rapid. And I think that's only going to continue in 2025. I think AI is going to be massive, but I also think something squeaking in a little under the radar, a couple of things, is quantum computing. I think that's going to start growing up over the next 4 or 5 years. And then I also think battery technology is like getting better and better and better every week. I see breakthroughs left, right, and sideways in battery technology, and I think that's going to be huge both for the power grid and for transportation as things get better over time. And it's going to be just a cost factor alone over time. Right now, it's a little lopsided because battery cars are expensive. But as the battery prices come down and the competition goes up, things are going to get interesting. Yeah, and there's still place for, cars with gasoline and whatnot. Um, I don't think that's ever going to go 100% away, but it might be more renewable fuels rather than buried fuels being dug out of the ground. It might be more renewable fuels in the long term. So I think it's going to be an interesting mix and an interesting ride. So happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. It's going to be here in a little barely over an hour. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the new year brings. Um, so one of my favorite sayings about the future, pass the popcorn. It's going to be interesting. We'll enjoy it. All right. So happy Vulcan fingers to you from the agent of 42. Yes, I love the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yes, I will toss that 42 out there every episode. Happily so. I love looking for it in every sci-fi show that I watch. It's usually there somewhere. And of course, may there never be a rogue wave in your coffee mug, because I don't like them in mine. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful new year in 2025. And if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And let me know how your year goes. Throw some comments in there that say how 2024 was for you. I'd like to hear it. All right. Good night.